Thank you very much. My name is John Costa. I started Citizens Eye 7 years ago, and it was very much about community media, so citizens journalism, I guess. And it was very much for individuals or groups, whether that was from Leicester or Leicestershire originally, to be able to come together and share all their information, news, events, opportunities, training, money they'd just won, and be able to help them shape their narrative. The mainstream media is very good at telling us what's important or reporting on certain groups. So over those 7 years, I've created 20 news agencies for homelessness, ex-offenders, refugee and asylum seekers, mental health, disability, to help those individuals that tend to be on the margins of society to be able to tell their story and shape their narrative in a way that now community media doesn't have to be unprofessional or shabby. You know, we've got YouTube, we've got Audioboo, we've got WordPress, we've got Twitter and Facebook. People can pretty much put out now what their story is rather than waiting for the mainstream media to tell their story. Citizens Eye is completely independent. Like I said, I started it 7 years ago, and during that period of time we've worked inside the Leicester Mercury. So for 2 years we were paid to create a citizens journalism page for Citizens Eye once a week, and then we ran a young person's newspaper called Wave, which to this day is still the only written, sourced and edited young person's newspaper there's ever been in the UK, and we did that for 2 years as well. And I run the Community Media Training School from BBC Radio Leicester. So we've done work with the mainstream media, and I just think it's when they get to talk to you and understand why you do community journalism or citizens journalism, then they get to understand it a bit more, because again they think they know what it is, but sometimes it's what it is to the individual. 7 years has covered all the mass participation events we've had in the city, so like Sky Ride, the big bike ride. It's covered various protests that we've had around Bow String Bridge when that was being demolished, two EDL protests that we've had here as well, and it's always been famous and became the first beacon hub of citizens journalism in November 2011 for creating a weekly community media cafe. So every Tuesday we used to meet for an hour. So I was quite proud of that. That's been the reason why we got named that. And so to be able to then have a community media week once a year and now create this whole month's event, Documentary Media Month, is very good. I've always been fascinated by documentaries, film, and what I've found over the years is some people like to go and watch documentaries in cinemas and some people don't. Also, some people like to look at documentary photography, but won't necessarily go to a gallery or watch a film about a similar subject. So the opportunity came up to create this pop-up documentary media centre where we could have film, photography, audio and new media all wrapped up together with writing on the wall, explanations, and there's 100 events, all of which are free to attend throughout the whole of November, to try and get people to think about, if you're looking at some photography taken by the Royal Anglian Regiment, our local regiment of soldiers in Afghanistan, and then look at, they're on the similar wall to Borneo, and then we've got Kenya, and then Korea, and we've got China, and then we've got documentaries about, again, been submitted from across the world. You could spend a few hours here and pretty much immerse yourself in lots of very important issues, but while enjoying it as well. You know, it's an enjoyable experience. Interesting, you're surrounded by all this technology, but this is still, this is the plan for Documentary Media Month. On an old bit of flip chart with pencil. So it constantly changes, and I just think the great thing about it is that the whole month is about film, photography, audio and new media. And one of the things that I'm really keen about working with either young people or older people in groups, in communities, anywhere in the world, is that technology should not be a barrier, but also you don't need high quality equipment in order to tell a story. So if you can tell a story using Vine in 6 seconds, or 3 photographs, or drawing it on a piece of paper, storyboarding, then it's the ability to tell a story, then the level of equipment that you've got, will just improve the quality of how you deliver that story. Yes, the Documentary Media Month takes place throughout the whole of November. It's the first time that I've done it. Normally what happens is we have a community media week, so I've had 6 of those, and I run the Documentary Film Festival. We've had 4 of those, and I thought this year what would be a great opportunity is to utilise 4 weeks throughout the whole of November so that we could theme them local, regional, national and international. Still run the Doc Film Festival, number 5, with the screens, but for the first time throughout, by having a month, is to create a pop-up documentary media centre, which is where we are today. The students can get involved in this event, one by walking past. A lot walk past and then come in and go, what is this place? It's amazing, tell me what it is. Those that have found out about it through people that have attended the Talent Academy like yourself can go on to the Citizens Eye WordPress site, which is www.citizenseye.org, and if you look at the Documentary Media Month programme, obviously we're halfway through the programme now, but there's still quite a lot of events. There's 100 free events, and so most of them take place in the evening and at weekends, like today on a Saturday. There's a documentary photography talk I'm doing tomorrow between 2 and 4 here. I always provide tea and biscuits. Really, it's always a very social thing as well, and it's not about necessarily knowing about documentary photography or being a documentary filmmaker. You can just be enthusiastic and come down and find out about it. I think the most important thing is that access to the media now, at the moment, still looks for people to have degrees, and I think it's important that while you're doing your 3 years of study, that you take those opportunities in your own free time, evenings and weekends, to see what's around you. You know, don't think you've got to go to London or big places like Birmingham, big cities to do that. Here in Leicester, there are a lot of people that are doing really good things at Phoenix Square, the Film and Digital Media Centre. There's a fantastic film group there called 7-5 Productions, run by Keith Allett. Get yourself down there. There's a short cinema competition that runs as well every year, run by Alex Jackson. That's fantastic. Lots of people out there with magazines like the Evington Echo, the Braunston Alert. There's people running newspapers like Our World. There's magazines like Pukar News. There's people out there that are more than willing to give enthusiastic students that want to get experience opportunities to be able to create portfolio, and I cannot stress enough, that is the most important thing. If you have got a portfolio of work and you can use your smartphone, this is the great game changer. The ability to run a media organisation off of your smartphone is something that I've been doing for 7 years with Citizens Eye. So, if you can create your own content and you can learn how to shape a narrative and deliver a narrative about any subject, that when you get to a big media organisation like The Guardian now, that are not newspapers anymore, they're platforms with the blog and that kind of stuff, then I think you're going to have a very good career. But you've got to do it now while you're at university. Don't get your degree, then look for experience. Immerse yourself in what's going on off of campus, out in the surrounding areas while you're at university. So yeah, definitely.